Hey, what is up, everyone? You are currently listening or watching the Orange Blossom Special Show. This is a podcast dedicated to grief, the ones we have lost, and just learning to laugh, heal, and repeat along the way. My name is Olivia, and welcome to my Vlogmas or Podmas series. So I obviously am my father's daughter. I am very much a music fiend, and that is why I am in the top percentage of Spotify listeners. So in honor of it being Spotify Day, I thought I could do a Spotify Wrapped or music Wrapped the old school way, because my parents obviously didn't have Spotify when they were younger. They didn't have the luxury of being able to listen to as much music as I wanted without having to go to a record store, borrow a record from a friend, listen to it on FMs. They didn't even have CDs. Oh my gosh. I don't know when the cassette tape came out, but I know my 1988 Toyota Camry had a cassette tape in it. So they did not have the luxury that we do today. So that being said, I thought what we could do is I would make my dad's version of his Spotify Wrapped based off of the music we would listen to in the car. And I think it is very important to note that there are two albums or artists who I do not have. One is Aerosmith. I do have a Carpenter's album, but I cannot seem to find it. So those two would be in his top 5, but again, I don't have their records and whatnot. So the other artist though who would definitely be in his top 5 would be Elton John for sure. This is 1770. That's how old this record is. And my dad and my mom, they both loved Elton John. Again, one of the best concerts. Like, my dad would always rave about seeing Elton John. The other would be the Rolling Stones. And one of the last conversations that I had with my dad was about how he had the opportunity to see the Rolling Stones in their prime, and he didn't buy the ticket. And that was one of his life's biggest regrets, is not buying the ticket. And so basically the theme is, if you're able to, always buy the concert tickets. Even if you have to enter into the ticket master war. So I obviously, because of that, am the point person for getting tickets. And I have been, thankfully, very lucky so far. The other two would be Queen and Chuck Mangione. My dad loved the horns. That's what he said about music today, is he goes, they need to bring the horn section back. And that's why I like Harry Styles, because Harry Styles actually has horns in his music. He has this medley, which they call the disco medley, where they play YMCA and then it goes into Daydream. Anyway, but other artists who would be on his playlist who may not necessarily be in the quote unquote top 5 would be Frank Sinatra, Lionel Richie. I got this is one I bought myself. I got this in a thrift shop. I also bought this one myself. This is the Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder. This is probably has what I would consider is my favorite all-time song, which is Love's in Need of Love Today. And my dad loves Stevie. I got to go see Stevie Wonder at a concert in Buffalo. It was everyone's parents and grandparents there. Seeing Stevie Wonder in concert. I love Taylor Swift. I've seen Taylor Swift in concert. I've seen Harry Styles in concert. My favorite band, 5 Seconds of Summer, in concert. None of them will compare in terms of musicianship to Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder, if you have not seen him in concert, is Stevie Wonder showing everyone else how you are actually supposed to sing and play music. Stevie Wonder goes, you could be the best songwriter in the world, the most talented guitar player, singer, but let me show you how you're really supposed to play it. He's absolutely phenomenal. Going to his concert would probably have been, if not the best concert I think I would have ever gone to in terms of musicianship wise. Like, Stevie Wonder just can't be beat. Unfortunately, I have to say it, but one of just overall the best musicians of all time. Like, it's a whole, his thing is like a whole thing. It's like he's just basically conducting an orchestra at that point, and he's telling everyone else how you're actually supposed to play music. My dad, obviously, they were Rolling Stones fans. So Mick Jagger, obviously, he gets to be on the playlist. He gets to have honorable mention. I also do not have the Blues Brothers album. And the Blues Brothers album would be, in terms of albums, but not musicians, it would be one of his top listened albums, point blank, period. And the Blues Brothers is my favorite movie, or one of my favorite movies to this day, because of my dad. Why I was watching that movie when I was like 7, don't ask me, ask him. But the music in that is phenomenal. Billy Joel is also very much getting top album, musician. He would definitely be on the top listened song playlist. He may not be in the top 5 listened to overall, but he's definitely in the top 5 musicians, or playlists, as I could say. Fleetwood Mac is also going to be on the top listened to in terms of songs and music go. My dad loved Stevie Nicks, and he would always rave about how good she was. So there is that. And then we also have Elvis. My dad and I, we would always we watched the Elvis movie too many times. That's usually what I would put on because I knew he liked it. He was a huge Elvis guy. So having Elvis's album to listen to definitely means a lot, because we know Elvis was one of the kings of rock and roll. And then John Denver is going to get a honorable mention as well. So that, I would say, would be a majority of, if my dad had Spotify, like his most listened to songs and whatnot goes. And I just say that because I spent a lot of time with him, so I kind of knew what he did and didn't listen to. He also did like to listen to some more like Western stuff. I would say like we are different in the sense of like he likes listening to like Led Zeppelin, Rolling Stones, Aerosmith, those types of guys. And in terms of me and in terms of the music I listen to, I really like listening more to the Eagles, the Little River Band, the REO Speedwagon, and I guess like Steve Miller Band. I would get Steve Miller Band like an honorable mention in that kind of genre musical realm. I listen to now like a lot of 5 Seconds of Summer because that's what I like. But I definitely have gotten my music taste from my dad. I think if there's one thing that he taught me, it's just an overall appreciation for music, for really what it takes. One, I mean, my dad was a musician, but just really like what encompasses good music, and really, I guess, like understanding musical components, and what really separates the phenomenal musicians from kind of like the mid-tier musicians. There's just something that some of these guys have, like Elton John, the guys from the Rolling Stones, that you just can't replicate. I feel like music's one of those things where you either got it or you don't. And I listen to most genres of music. I do not listen to screamo though. So screamo, heavy metal is not really my lane, but most other demographics, genres, I'm more keen to. And this is just a side note. I think it's interesting when you're listening to music, and you could be listening to Mexican 80s rock, or listening to Korean rock. And it's crazy that even though this is music coming from different countries and different styles, there's still similarities in how music sounds from different ages, despite where that music geographically came from. And that is just something that I've kind of picked up from having coworkers who listen to like old school music from their country. And yeah, music is what makes the world go round. I am a concert girl through and through, so thank you, Dad, for that. And that being said, to all of my Spotify people, happy Spotify Wrap Day. I hope you have enjoyed this video / podcast. Make sure you either hit that subscribe or follow button for more. And happy Vlogmas. Keep calm. Rock on. Bye. See you guys on the next episode.